and gentlemen, this is James with Oakesperformancesolutions. We have our Q5 TDI on the lift, and we're excited to introduce our new off-road exhaust system for the Q5, the A6, the A7, the A8L TDIs. This pipe is for vehicles that are going to be off-road use, farm use, and registered in different countries where they allow it. This replaces the upper section of the exhaust, and we finally found a manufacturer that would make it according to our specifications. We have all these additional bungs on here for our European customers that still use these sensors. For our USA customers, the later pipes are not going to have this one, or this one. It's just going to be this main oxygen sensor. And for the meantime, we'll have plugs that'll screw into these three, so they're not necessary. But we're super excited about having this, and I wanted to show everybody with this video. We're also going to show installing it, and this will resolve a lot of the issues the customers have with the upper exhaust pipe on this 3-liter CPNB engine code. So it'll replace the upper pipe back there. Okay, so now we're much closer looking at the engine. We're going to remove this top decorative engine cover. It just pops right off, and then set it off to the side. The pipe that we're going to be swapping out is this main upper pipe. We've actually filmed a video on how to remove this, so we're going to do this kind of very quickly, just so that way you can see the process to remove it and install our aftermarket pipe. Looks like that. It'll sit in the car kind of like that as it bolts to the turbo. To get this pipe out, the stock one, we have to take this strut brace off, take that sensor loose over there. You see that? Awesome. We're going to take the cowl out. We have the battery disconnected already. We'll show that just very quickly here in a second. There's a couple sensors and hoses and things we have to take off to be able to get that pipe out. So we'll do this real fast. It's a couple 10s, 13s for the strut brace, the 13 bolts, nuts, 10mm sheet metal screws back there, then all the battery connections, and we'll disconnect the sensor over there, get that out of the way. Take the oxygen sensor out. The oxygen sensor is this 6-pin connector right here. There's a couple temperature sensors and things we need to disconnect as well. I already have one that's partially disconnected. Okay, I've kind of jumped to the back of the Q5 here to show where we disconnected the battery. Underneath all the covers, you have the luggage compartment trim cover, the cover there. There's some tools. Don't mind all the rusty, crusty stuff in here. This car had a water leak at one point in time. But obviously, we're going to disconnect the battery cables. You only really have to disconnect the negative. I did the positive too, just because. But we'll disconnect all this, and so that way it's safe to disconnect the terminals up front. All right, guys. So we are chugging right along disassembly here with the Q5. We've taken the cross brace off from the strut tower. It's just a couple 13s on each side, some little 10mm like that one, and the wire for the NOx sensor comes off. We took the plastic cover off. It just pulls up, pulls out once you take the little thing off, because it's held in by some tab holders like this one right here. So it just pulls up. Inside this power junction box, this thing, you need to disconnect some wires. This is where having the battery disconnected is required, because otherwise you will start arc welding, and it's not a good thing. There's a whole bunch of 10mm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one, and the one over here, the nuts come off of the wires. They should stay attached to them. These two over here to my left, the nuts come off separately, and you don't want to drop them. I usually take it off and screw it onto this side. Then the 13 for this red wire, main power wire, and then here for the jumper connection, the nuts come off, the wires come out. I usually put the nuts back where they were, just make my life easier. Once all that's out, you pop the vacuum hose, this thing, the plastic side on the back side, you pop it off, and then you can pull the rubber piece out. There's a 10mm nut right there that holds this cowl wall on, and then once you have all that removed, you can literally just yank it and pull it up out of there. Have all the room in the world. So after that, we'll get working on removing the upper exhaust pipe here, which there's a ton of sensors that need to be disconnected, like all the little guys over here and everything. So I'll show you that. We're at the point where we need to pull this cowl wall out, and we have everything disconnected on the backside here. The way to get this out, you kind of just got to force it. So this plastic piece should pull out, should have little plastic tabs. Ours broke off a while ago, so that kind of pulls out. Then just quite literally go yank this and gently pull it up and out like so. It'll come right out, and then set it off to the side. Now you can see a lot more of the exhaust. All right, now that we have the cowl wall removed, we need to work on getting this upper exhaust pipe out. There's the main oxygen sensor, this guy here, right here, which comes over, gets disconnected. My assistant's already been very helpful disconnecting things. So we have those sensors all free. This sensor, we need to unplug there, minor problem. Then there's 3 nuts that hold this pipe to the back of the turbo, and we're not so worried about that. We'll get to that in a minute. We actually need to go over there on that side. All right. So we need to get to the nuts down there. There's 2 that get taken off for where the upper pipe connects to the lower pipe. They're 12 millimeters. One is there, the other one's like a little further up, and then there's a nut on the bottom. There's also a temp sensor right there that gets disconnected. It's that little black one right there. And then as well, I'll spin you over. Let's see if the phone recalibrates. Oh, no, it actually sees it beautifully. Nice. So there's a little rubber hose for the differential pressure sensor. That rubber hose, we've already slid the clamp over, and then it pulls off. Then we need to go from the bottom and disconnect the nut to be able to pull that out. We're very quickly moving along.
One of the DPF nuts, you get it from the top. It's that 12 up there. That stud that sticks down that you got to loosen from the bottom, it actually broke on me. That's to be expected. It's 12 millimeter.
All right, guys, so we have the upper pipe loose and everything's disconnected. We just have to lift it up out of there, which this gets a little awkward. I'm gonna take this little connector off right there so I don't lose it. All right, so the way you do this, kind of pull it over to the side, then lift up. I'm gonna try to find the best hand placement for this. Yeah, don't worry. If you see me bumbling, fumbling, you might too. Had to get off the stud for the lower exhaust portion. Lift it up out of there. Yay! There's the upper pipe. New one's gonna be a lot smaller than that. Done. All right, so now you've seen me wrestle the stock upper pipe out. This is the new one, and this puppy slides right in place. Super easy. Like so. Much easier. So it's in place on the turbo, and then I have it on the pipe down there. So much smoother connection. Now we just gotta get all the nuts on there, tighten everything down, put it all back together. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is James, Oakesperformancesolutions. We're doing a new trend here with our nice whiteboard. Cover a lot of these things for all our repair videos, install videos, and everything else moving forward. We have our Audi Q5, A6, A7, A8 TDI upper exhaust install. That it's this pipe here. We've already talked about installing it, we just wanted to go over a couple things you'll need. Of course, have to have you stick around to the end of the video, obviously. So this upper exhaust takes about an hour or two to install. It's really pretty straightforward and easy. You do need some tools. Tools required, 90-degree pick, mostly just to get the electric connectors loose because they tend to be stuck. Some screwdrivers to get like the lower engine covers and things off, along with the vacuum hose for the cowl wall. Pliers for the rubber hose. Various sockets or wrenches. I mean, got 10, 12, 13 millimeters, all pretty standard sizes. You will need a T25 Torx, a little guy here to get the lower engine covers off. And then ratchets and 1/4 inch, 3/8, pretty straightforward. Various length extensions for 1/4 inch, 3/8. It really helps to have some wobble, like extensions for 3/8 like this. So that way you can go from the bottom, kind of fish way up in there. I know it's hanging down, but you fish up in there to get the exhaust nut from the bottom. Kind of a pain. Torque wrenches, obviously, if you want to actually tighten everything to spec. If you don't care and you think good and tight's good enough, I mean, you do have torque specs listed, but some people just go Snug. Then, obviously, you need an oxygen sensor socket for a 22 millimeter. I use this crow's foot style. And in fairness, you can get a wrench on there too. We also have our torque specs, the exhaust nuts for that and there on the pipe, 23 Newton meters. We're going to include new ones in the kit anyways. Oxygen sensors, 50 Newton meters. One that goes there. That's straightforward. Cowl wall. There's a little nut that holds the cowl wall onto the body. It's really not much. It's 4 Newton meters. The power box, where all the power wires go to it. There's 10 millimeter nuts. Those get tightened to 9 Newton meters. 13 millimeter nuts. They're slightly bigger. They're like M8s. So 20 Newton meters. The big strut brace. All the 13 millimeter nuts and bolts get tightened to 20 Newton meters. The lower engine cover fasteners, Snug, aka 4 Newton meters. Snug's really good. I like Snug. Helpful fluids, penetrating oil, WD-40, like that guy. Silicone spray, there. Get the connectors go together. Some of the stuff slide back on easier. High temperature anti-seize, right there. Now it's probably everywhere. I hate anti-seize. But if you ever want to take it apart again, really helpful to put high temp anti-seize on it. So that way you can get this thing off easily. Pretty straightforward. Really happy about this exhaust. It's pretty awesome. Thank you.